Puppies are up under the trailer. It's a bit frustrating. I got to figure out how to. I had that put up there. I had put that back on there yesterday, and then tried to block it up, but they still, one or two of them got underneath there and in under there. So I just undid the screw and left it open so that if they're going to get up under there, they need to be able to come out from under there easy. One of them ended up staying under there all night. I couldn't ever get it to come out from under there, but it finally came out this morning. I was worried that it might have been up under there and something wrong with it, and that I was going to have to go looking for it today. This is kind of neat. It does have a pivot on it, so that's kind of cool right there like that. I guess that's just trying out. What up, Chewy? I'm very grateful this morning. And I'm outside. I've got the phone on the gimbal. I will be going inside here shortly. What I was trying to say, anybody that's tuning in, the puppies ain't out here moving around. They are out here, but they're under the trailer. And if you weren't watching just a second ago, of course, this panel here has been kind of loose and janky anyway, because the bigger dogs over the past few years have gotten up under there with it attached. They dug underneath. Hold on a minute. Sorry. You can tell I'm still not completely using this thing is still new to me. So I had it extended there, like out. Let me see if I can see your message here. Hold on a minute. I got to get in the shade. What up, Nature Girl? Good morning. I saw your message earlier. I just haven't. Right, I went live. Like, well, I was deciding to go live. I was like, I took a walk and came home, and I was like, I'm going to do a live for a minute. And I had done this the other day with the gimbal, walking around in the yard. This is where the muscadine is, right here, where all you see all this growth. They're pretty tiny still. There is some that, if you go around towards the back, there's some at the top that are already kind of ripened and fell. But for the most part, most of the muscadine ain't big yet and ready to eat or whatever, or be turned into wine if that's what you wanted to do. Which that's not what I'd be doing, because I'm currently not drinking. That's one of them, getting bigger. There's another one. Yeah, there they are. They're all kind of. So what I was saying was the puppies are under the trailer, and so that panel there, I sometimes would take, like years ago, Ladybird dug up underneath it. There was blocks and stuff there, but she had got up under there and got caught up. When I used to keep her on a cable attached to the porch, she'd get up under the trailer and get hung up. So I'd have to take that panel off and do all this stuff to get up under there and get her unhooked. Then I had to do whatever I could to keep her from going back under there. And then, so the puppies found their way under there the other day, and that's Chewy. Biddy was around here a minute ago. Let's see here. Hey, Emil. Good morning. I'm using the gimbal. Of course, I don't know much about what I'm doing. I'm just using it. But I'm going to go inside in a second and turn the camera around so I can talk and kind of look at people's messages if they're messaging me anything. But I just wanted to do this to kind of be, it's a little more practice, and it was fun the other day. Now the stupid thing the other day, look at the sun, how beautiful it is today. It's always beautiful, isn't it? The funny thing about the stream the other day is I went live on my second channel with the gimbal and thought that I was live on my main channel, and I was promoting. I went and corrected that, like in the title and everything. But I said, while I was streaming, I kept thinking I was on Great Cloudy Day, exclusive, you know, like just straight through the YouTube app. And what happened was, so I'm telling everybody about my second channel and saying, yeah, you can check out Great Cloud's Thoughts. And I imagine anybody because that day, quite a few people tuned in right at first. There was like 19 people watching right as I went live out here. And it got down to about 5 people watching when I ended it. And I thought, I bet they think I'm stupid. Like I'm streaming from Great Cloud's Thoughts and telling them about Great Cloud's Thoughts as if they're watching some other channel. But you know, it's just where I rushed and kind of just did it. We're going to go in. Give me a second. Because I need to sit down for a second. Well, I don't really have to, but. And then give me a second here. Hold on, who was that? Is that Biddy? That might have been Biddy. I hear them under there messing around. So, let me get situated here. The thing about this gimbal is, hold on, goodness gracious. Okay. I still ain't figured out, sometimes it wants to swivel, but hey, it is fun, and I think it'll be a fun thing to use. Like I've said, especially when like if this coming up like next month, I get to go somewhere like I did like the next time I know whether I'm on payday and I'm having to do a bunch of stuff, whatever time, when I think I might have a chance to possibly stop somewhere that's cool and wander around, I'm going to start trying to remember to put the gimbal or bring it with me, even if it's on a payday. Like, even if I'm doing a lot, because I might not have the time to do it, but there might be some time to be able to stop and be like, hey, let's stop at this park. Hey, do you take this to the river or wherever the hell we might be able to go, you know? Even if it's not a planned event like that day that I just kind of spur of the moment did that with... Yeah, no worries. I'm just meaning they probably weren't thinking nothing bad. I'm just meaning if I noticed when I streamed the other day from the second channel and I was talking like as if I was on the main channel, there was a large amount of people right at the beginning. And a few people, I'm pretty sure most of everybody was new people. Like, it was on my second channel. And I think they just saw, I said practice testing with the gimbal or something, like out in the yard or whatever. I don't remember. I went back and worded it to say, LOL, I thought I was streaming on my main channel, blah, blah, blah. It all works out. People probably figured it out. It wasn't a big deal. It was more for me just to test the gimbal and see if I could stream. Now, what I'm doing is I'm not running through the app or anything. I just turn the gimbal on, because if you don't turn it on, then it doesn't balance the phone or anything. So it's got to be on. And I imagine it might be connected through the Bluetooth, but I'm not using the app because I'm using the YouTube app. So I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to use it as the tool if I'm going to be walking around and outside or doing something like that, so it's stable. What I'm about to do right now, so y'all have to give me a second. So I'm going to turn this off. So it's going to go flopping. Watch. Oh, there you go. Give me a second. And then I'm going to take it out of there. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I haven't figured out if there's a way just to use it as a tripod. without having it on. It does, like when you put the phone in there and it's not turned on, it's all floppy and off balance. So if you know, like if I'm gonna be sitting here stationary, there's no point in me using the gimbal right now. To me, this is more for if I'm mobile. So, and I thought about taking it this morning on my morning walk, but I have been here kind of doing some meditation and thoughts on life, and that's why I titled today's thing, whatever I titled it. Hell, I don't remember. I don't remember what I titled this live stream. Grateful now or whatever. Because today is all I have, and I know that I keep saying that over and over, but it's like every day it something keeps reminding me why I'm saying, you know, hey, I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. Well, to be that, you have to stay on point. You have to keep reminding yourself, or I have to keep reminding myself, and I have to be called back to the moment constantly. When I'm getting out of that moment, I got to try to reel myself back into the moment. But I was thinking, because I don't know what I'm going to do as a video this morning, but since I'm live, I decided I was going to read in the live stream from Jesus Always, because I read it to myself already. Let me see if I need my glasses or not. And where are they if I need them? Everything's a mess right here right now. I'm going to probably clean the table off today, hopefully, and reorganize it. It's not like terrible. Well, there's a lot of, it's kind of cluttered and piled up, and I just need to do what I need to do. And of course, if I need my glasses, I don't see them right offhand. Give me a second. Oh, jeez, dude. Oh, Gray Cloud. Why don't you get your stuff together? There's right under, see, right underneath a piece of paper with a number on it and my appointment date and all that kind of stuff. Now I read this without my glasses today, but I just like to have them in case I need it for the video or the live. So if you're watching, if you've tuned in, I'm going to read from Jesus Always real quick for today. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but if it does, you know, I can't really do nothing about it. Things like people get offended about anything. And also, I think some people have gotten a little bit disturbed because I stopped doing a daily devotional like every single day. But I can't help that either because I was guided to mix things up. Okay, August 18th. You're feeling weighed down by yesterday's failures. Hold on, is it August 18th? Yeah. You were feeling weighed down by yesterday's failures. You wish you could undo decisions you made that you now regret. However, the past is beyond the realm of change. It cannot be undone. Even I, though I live in timelessness, respect the boundaries of time that exist in your world. So don't waste your energy bemoaning bad choices you have made. Instead, ask me to forgive your sins and help you learn from your mistakes. I hate to see my children weighed down by past failures, dragging them around like heavy chains attached to their legs. When you're feeling this way, try to imagine me cutting the chains from your legs. I came to set my loved ones free. You are free indeed. Rejoice that I redeem your failures, forgiving you and leading you along paths of newness. Talk with me about your mistakes and be ready to learn from me. Ask me to show you the changes I want you to make. I will guide you along right paths. And that spoke pretty good to me this morning. So I wanted, right before deciding to do a stream, I was like, I'm going to read that. Well, actually, before I took my walk, I'd read this, and I was like, I'm going to probably read this on a stream this morning. So I'm doing things a little different today than I normally do. Normally, I get up and I don't ever know when I'm going to do a stream, but this morning it felt like, hey, let's do an early morning stream before I even think about doing an actual video of some sort. I had debated on, am I just going to do a video where I'm talking about being grateful or whatever? This morning I already had some ideas come to me for I was humming some words in my mind today, and I'm trying to write them down as a song. I don't know. I don't have a name for a freaking song, but it started coming to me, and I've wrote it down and then rewrote it a few times till I kind of think I got where. It's just kind of a. It's like stream of consciousness, and just I got up this morning and tried just not getting right on the phone or listening to any music or anything, and just doing some reading, and then like something just came to me, and then so I grabbed the pen and paper. I was like, well, let's see if we can work with this, and it was like today may we find something new in our lives. Today may we find something new in our lives. Let it be inspiration so we can strive to continue along and begin to thrive at everything within our grasp to end all of our stress. Break those walls that have stalled our progress. That's about all. And I don't know if I'm singing it in the right cadence, the right whatever, how it came to me. The main part, the beginning, and I say it twice. Today may we find something new in our lives. Today may we find something new in our lives. That's what came to me. Just that line. And I was like, okay, that's the beginning of something. That's something. That's like just pure, not start, like hadn't been starting the day out that very long. Had sat down and had my drink in front of me and of coffee, and then had done a little reading and then thinking and meditating, and all like during the first 30 minutes of being here in the living room, and these words just came to me, and I was like, let's see what it is. Oh yeah, cool. So yeah, like I said, I'd seen that I just hadn't had a chance to, you know what I mean, send anything back. And I figured if I went live, since I knew you were kind of moving around, you might see this and be here for a minute. And so I wanted to say I'm very grateful. Like, the puppies, I was worrying yesterday. I'm a little frustrated. There was a neighbor last week that came up here. You know, I had two neighbors. One that definitely had done told me they wanted one back before they were even born. Well, that neighbor got one. They came over here and picked one out last Saturday or whatever, and we're like, can we wait till the end of the week, whenever it was. The other person that came over here and was like, yeah, I want this one. And then they came back and their wife was with them. And she's like, well, we're going to get that little boy and we might get that little girl. All week long. Said hi to him, blah, 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 blah. Then it came the day that like on Saturday or Friday, whenever those two, whenever the young couple came and got their puppy, the old man came up here with a little dish mixed with some dog food and some cat food and was like, I want to see if I can feed the puppies. But he didn't mention nothing about, well, we're still going to get that boy dog, or we're going to come up here before the weekend's over or anything. And I didn't bring it up. While he was walking off from me, I did say, are you still going to get one? And he just kind of stood there and acted like he didn't know what I was saying. And I just said, fuck it, like I can't worry about it. And then, like, this Saturday, there was somebody having a yard sale across from the trailer park. And then the woman that's married to the old man, her and her daughter had walked over there. And I was taking a walk, had my headphones on. She's walking back towards me, towards the trailer park, with stuff in her hands from the yard sale, and she's like talking to me, and I pull my headphones off thinking, okay, she's about to tell me why they're not getting the puppy or whatever. She just said, how are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm all right. I figure it ain't for me to damn try to push it, because what am I going to do? Are you still going to get a puppy? Obviously they're not. They've obviously thought about it and figured we can't really get a puppy. I can't really be mad about that. I don't need these puppies myself, but I'm trying to do I'm trying to do it a way where I'm trying to do it the way I want to do it. Take care of them until they get homes. It's just frustrating. Now, those people had not even came here, looked at the puppies, and told me shit. I would rather them not tell me anything and go, I definitely want that one, and we might end up getting two. All week long, I was like excited. Hey, at least 3 of them are gone, you know? And I don't know if I have the ability to, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then, like, Betty's supposed to have reposted some pictures yesterday, but I don't know if she did. I believe she's already up and gone somewhere this morning. But and then yesterday I finally got some pictures because like she was supposed to post them on. She posted them recently, like a few weeks ago, on Facebook. Because I don't have Facebook, I don't do it anymore. You know, after it got hacked last year with my Instagram, and a couple of people got scammed. From, you know, people that whatever. A few people that were following me got hit up and did wrong by whoever them hacked my shit. So I just never went through the process of trying to get an account back or create a new account and go back over there. I don't care about Facebook. I really don't need to be on social media, but I am because I'm trying to promote what I do here. And, you know, the only one I'm on is X. So if you're ever interested, you can go over there and find it. But, I'm on Gab also, but most people don't even know about Gab, and most people would probably be offended if you go over there. Because it's a lot more free speech than X or anything. It's actually... Okay, enough of that. What do we got here? Yeah, like, I can't be mad at those people. They're older than me. Like, they're seniors. Like, I'm 51, but what I'm saying is they're probably in their 60s or whatever, going on 70. You know, I don't know exactly how old they are, but I know they're older than me, and that we're all going through hard times. The only thing that I'm just realizing is this is going to be soon, like the puppies getting up under the trailer and stuff is kind of a pain, and having that panel loose like that, it don't really, you know, it's not a big deal. This trailer is a piece of crap. It's, you know what I mean? I don't pay a whole lot. So I'm just trying to think. I just got to get through each day, and I'm asking for patience and not to be frustrated because I've got a handful of things that I have to take care of every day. The puppies are pretty good though. They're getting to work. Like, even if they're under the trailer, I can go out there. All I gotta do is start hollering. Now, yesterday was weird. 7 of them ended up coming out, eating, blah, blah, blah. Most of them stayed out from under the trailer that whole time. I kept missing one because there's 8 of them. I got all 7 back into the room. I kept going over there to the opening, hollering, knocking on the panels, trying to get I'm like, if their 8th puppy's under there asleep, I was trying to wake it up. Hey, dude, you're missing out. I've done fed your brothers and sisters. Never heard a word, never heard a peep. What do we got here? I want one of those puppies too, but life makes it where I can't have one at the moment. Right. I understand. I was reading your thing, Nature Girl. What I was going to say though is, so it got dark. I even went out there with a flashlight and flashed it in there and tried to see if I could, it wasn't until this morning, because I seriously thought that the 8th puppy might be hurt. Did it crawl up in there? Was there something wrong with it? And is it dead? You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to bed thinking that last night. Well, I might have to get up tomorrow and crawl up under there and find this puppy. Because, you know, if it is under there dead, I don't need it, like, decomposing and then I don't, not knowing it until I'm smelling it. So this morning I got up and it wasn't daylight yet. I was feeding the puppies in the room, and I started hearing a whining. So I turned on the porch light. I took my flashlight. I went out there. I shined it down in there because, you know, the panel, shined it. I could see the puppy, and but it wouldn't come to me. I was like, come here, buddy. Come on out. Man, you missing out, dude. And so what happened was I just left him under there. I let the puppies finish eating. And I tried something new this morning. Daylight was, it was still dark, and then by the time they were finished eating, and the puppy wouldn't come to me out there, it was barely like daylight was just starting to kind of start, and so after they were done eating in the room, and they had not made a lot of messes last night like the night before, but I'd cleaned up some of their poop and stuff, even off the cardboard, because if I can if I can clean the poop up and then the cardboard can still be used, that's what I'm trying to do, and not use all the cardboard I have at the moment. But I put the puppies out while it was pretty much still dark. I've been getting up and feeding them and waiting until more of daylight, and like I'll put them outside and then start cleaning the room, or get it empty of them and them outside, so I can continue to do whatever I need to do, like go for a walk and then come back and then clean or whatever. Today, I put them out, and they just ended up at some point going under the trailer. So now I know there's an 8th puppy still that it ain't under the trailer, hurt or dead, and I put food out there and everything. So now here in a little while, whenever I want to like get them stirring, hopefully they'll all come out again. I'm going to move forward at some point. I think they might do just fine if I leave them outside all night. Like they just probably, because that puppy, I was thinking that puppy was going to end up whining in the middle of the night under the trailer. Never heard it whining. It never, like, you know what I'm saying? Patience is what I'm working on too. I got you, yeah. So I'm praying, like, I was thinking on my walk, and I was thinking about this yesterday also. This whole transition from, if you go back a little over 5 weeks ago, when I am counting the first day that I'm counting as, okay, I'm not having a drink today again after 4 or 5 days. I fell off, I had a bender for 4 or 5 days, got back on the wagon. Well, during that period of time, I was describing what I was going through as sort of my being aware that I'm going through another kind of a dark night of the soul. And I was realizing that it's not just one time that I've went through it. There's been several periods, I believe, that I've had in my life probably that could be considered that. Well, through this whole transition of coming out of that and then switching from not being so stringent on every day getting up and it having to be a devotional video in the morning. It might be from Living a Life Awareness. It might be the Fifth Agreement. It could be Jesus Calling. It could be Jesus Always. It might even just be that I want to just make a video of me talking. I kind of feel being drawn to get back to that, of collecting my thoughts and trying to do some sort of video in the mornings of maybe I don't have nothing I'm specifically reading from. It's just thoughts that I've had, I've processed, and I'm trying to share them. Although I can do that like I'm doing right now in a live also. So, patience. But I realized yesterday in service and after church and all that kind of stuff, it's been healthy for me to question Gray Cloud again. It's been healthy to question even anything that I thought I believed, anything that I thought, because I believe too many people don't. We get complacent in what we think we believe, and sometimes we don't question it anymore. Now, there's certain things like I am not going to question just because I don't need to anymore. But I'm just meaning it's refreshing. And, I see that I have not. For a minute, I thought maybe my ego was trying to steer me away from being connected through the devotionals. And it's not my ego. It's the Spirit itself. Just saying, people have to be aware that I am who I am, and then they can like it or leave it. I either do a devotional or I don't. It's like I'm not trying to be anything other than just me. And I like being able to have the choice that in the mornings, I'm just kind of winging it. Something will tell me at some point in the mornings or throughout that day, because sometimes I'm not making a video in the morning. Sometimes it might be a few shorts go up. It might be the afternoon before a video goes up. And then if I get caught up in doing actual stuff here physically in the real world, there may be days that I decide not to do an actual real long video or anything. So that's just being gray cloud and thinking too much. I think it's wise to question all. Put out at church. What do you mean? Oh yeah. Some things in church aren't in the. Yeah. Exactly. Um, it's interesting to me. I was reading something that I wrote. It's in my notebook that I take to church, but it was talking about the main word is like when you think about what it says biblically about in the beginning was the word and the word was with God and the word was God. The original word was unwritten. And it's unwritten. It's not like paper. It's not words on paper. It's not words on a printing press. It's not words on a screen. It is words. It's something that's indescribable. Like the way that we think of words in our human mind is completely different than the way that words are necessarily in the actual spiritual realm, you know? Like to me, I know that. Like it's just like when I lived in the woods and was first becoming and learning about like, okay, your given name is Jason, but what your true name is Gray Cloud. And you might not understand it right now. You might not understand why you're a cloud. But over the years, I slowly have somewhat of an understanding. So, like spirit doesn't necessarily communicate. Like the way that we think of words is not always the way that words are spiritually. Like we have a concept of words and then we have what we think are words and symbols and everything. Sometimes pure conscious. Anyway, I don't want to get in all that. I don't know why I even brought it up. What's the point? Sometimes I ask myself, what's the point in anything, you know? But then I have to reel myself back in and go, you know, there is a point. There is a point in something. Like if there was no point in all, then why would I even be here? Why would I even be going on? That's the way, like I choose to know what I know, and I can't like keep, you know, like you said, I can't worry about what anybody else is thinking. Although sometimes as a human being and trapped in this physical body, not necessarily trapped, but sometimes I still am going to be conscious of what some people might think or what do, you know, like. But, so before there was written words, there was a word. And that word was whatever the word needed to be. You see what I'm saying? Like it was formless. It is formless. But yet it has form. It is everything and nothing at the same time. It's beyond it's beyond most people's comprehension. Because we tend to, in the way that our human minds construct things, we see everything in the finite, from point A to point B. When it's really all around, it's all swirling and back and forth and everything. It's like the figure 8 on its side, infinity. It just keeps looping back through. So yeah. Today, may we find something new in our lives. Today, may we find something new in our lives. Let it be inspiration so we can strive to continue along and begin to thrive at everything within our grasp to end all of our stress and break the walls that stalled our progress. And those are the words that came to me this morning. Of course, the first line is the main thing that came to me, and then I started just jotting some stuff on paper and working it out, and trying to see if it would, what it sounded like, what it read like. And so, inspiration, man. Just trying to be inspired today, trying to keep inspired. Um, it's going to be a warm day, I know that. Uh, when I was talking about cleaning my table off today, I've already, in my bedroom, the like little nightstand beside my bed, it was very like cluttered and just needed to be everything taken off and me clean off the surface and then put everything back on there. We struggle with what people think. Love the song you wrote. Well, the song ain't probably complete, but I'm thinking, like over the past few months or the past year when I was doing the drumming a lot more and doing some vocals and coming up with different words, I need to go back and start watching some of those videos and trying to work on anything that was improv and I had been working on. Um, it's just ideas and concepts. Like I don't know if it's finished. I don't know, but I knew that there was something, and I wanted to just. I needed to get at least the first part of that one line. I needed to have it on paper, and then from there, it kind of I'm just letting it kind of go wherever. Um, like I said, I've got it like over here on another page where I wrote it down first, and I scratched out some of the way that I was trying to write the next lines. Then I rewrote it. Then I didn't like that, and then I started a whole nother page, and I've got it kind of where I'm kind of just working with the inspiration, the creative spirit right now. And anybody that has tuned into this stream later after it began, if you go back to the beginning, you'll see me walking around in the yard. I had the phone on the gimbal. And now be aware, I'm not very like fully knowledge yet with the gimbal as far as being an expert at walking around with it. Uh, but hey, that's just part of being an old head, I guess, and not even knowing what a gimbal was until my friend asked me about it in a stream and then had one sent. So I'm still, but I was saying, it will be something that at some point I want to utilize. Especially if I go out on an adventure, like the next time I plan something and go and know I'm going to be at a park or by the lake for 30, 40 minutes or whatever it is, it'd be cool to have that. Like that day that I had it, if I took it with me that day, we stopped at the lake and saw the ducks. I could have been like, but I kind of want to plan something. It's just like if I was to say maybe have someone drive me to town one day and just drop me off, even if I took off walking and because I was bored, to get in either one of these small towns, the gimbal would be something like last year when I would go to town a lot and I'd take my phone, the gimbal would be perfect for something like that. Just when I'm stopping and trying to make videos or I'm walking around the parking lots and just kind of like filming, it's going to be more stable. So that's one fun thing to get to do while we're in our flesh, create. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm going to pin that. But yeah, so, and then on a brighter note, and I decided to go live through the YouTube app. I'm not using Restream because I was like, I don't know how long I'm going to stream. Here we are. We've done a pretty good stream so far. I'm on going on 40 minutes. But in my mind, when I started, I was like, okay, I'm going to use the gimbal. I'm going to go outside. We're going to, we're going to mess around. And just do something a little different. But I had in my mind, I'm like, well, this could go 10 minutes. It could go 20 minutes. It might go 30 minutes. I had no idea. The only reason I'm even paying attention to the time right now is just that I'm going to try to stay on course. That if I've noticed, I got to keep myself to that. If I start a stream early, I'm fine if I was to stream for another 2 hours. But there are things that I do know that at some point during this day I need to probably try to do or want to do or will be guided and shown that I need to do. So I've been excited because last week I had some good energy going and I got some things done so far. Give me a second. Like, that's one fun thing we do. Like, you're touching the world and making your everlasting mark when you create. Yeah, it's like even if, nobody, like, I've always called myself a writer, and it doesn't matter whether it's published or not. There's been a couple little, like a church published like a little prayer that I wrote, and it was kind of a poem, but a prayer also. One time in their weekly little thing, and then something years ago was in some kind of anthology poetry book. But as far as being like a professional writer, no. But I've always wrote. Now, do I write as much as I used to? No. I'm trying to get back to it. Here recently, as I'm reading some of these comics, because I do, like even at 51, I think I still can create this story, at least get it started. I think I can. And so what if it don't? I'm even toying around with changing some of the things I thought I was set on with Hero and Dog. I might change some of it up. I might make it just more fun and less fucking serious. Like, I don't even know yet. But as far as stream of consciousness writing, I'm really trying to make myself get back to that a lot more. Like the past week, I've done a little of it. Not every day, but every few days, I'm writing a couple of things down here and there. Like this morning, the writing of the song or working on some kind of song. Yeah, I mean, I figure I don't know, man. I'm trying not to be stuck. Like, I have a goal today. I need to try to make a phone call and see if I can find out anything. But I hit a mental roadblock. Like, when it comes to the whole ID thing that has held me back over the few years. And I know someone keeps telling me what to do or what I need to do. Well, yeah, I know. I've known this for years. But there's like, I can't really do anything. Other than, I don't know who to call today, but I'm going to try to call and see if someone can direct me. Like, I need some kind of, I need to be able to get that done. And so when I get off of here, one of the things that I'm going to do is probably call the council agent and see if, because the other day DHS did tell me, well, you can call over there. They were like, how old are you? I'm like, well, I'm 51. They're like, well, if you're not 60, I don't think that they can. Evidently, over at the council agent, which is also where you call and you get the public transportation, they have a program for some people that are 60 or older that if they don't have an ID, they'll help them get the ID or be an advocate. The people at the DHS said, call them, see if they can maybe give you information about someone that can help you, even though you're not 60. Meaning, like, I know what I need. But as far as getting to places, having proof of who I am to get the freaking documentation of the shit that they want is insane. Like, okay, we need a birth certificate. We need a Social Security card, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then I got to get to the Social Security office, but I don't have an ID to prove who I am. Now they have questions they can ask me. Well, okay, blah, blah, blah. Birth certificate. Well, I can't just contact Tennessee and fucking just get it. Like over the phone or online, they want proof of who you are. I mean, it's stupid. Look, Gray Cloud, pull yourself back to the moment. Today is all you have. Don't worry about that. If I make a phone call and all I know is it is what it is. I've been just setting my mind that something is going to break. Like a door is about to open for me to get this shit done. I don't know how it's going to open, but I know it's about to open. That's all I know. So I'm going to leave it at that. Because on my walk today, that's basically what, kind of like this morning, I felt the Spirit tell me, you can do so much more in your days than you have been doing. Yeah, you've been doing pretty good, Gray Cloud, but yeah, you've also been telling yourself you're not doing enough, and I'm telling you, you're not doing enough. And I'm going to show you today. So in other words, I don't know what that means. I'm not necessarily taking it as more physical work. It might just mean more studying, more thinking, more plotting out, and getting some things done that have been long put off, that, and it might even be more physical stuff. I have no idea, but it's about, all I know is that's what I was showing this morning. Today, I'm going to show you that you can do more in your day, and you're going to do more today. And I want you to be implementing this. Like, it doesn't mean I have to kill myself today doing it or anything, but I'm ready for it. It's like, okay, like I'm already up, I'm doing a stream, whatever. I can dig it. Right, I understand, Emil. So that's what I'm being told. Like, I'm going to trust that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that, like, all of a sudden I was reminded while I was talking about this, like when I was saying this to you guys, just then, like, it was like, I'm glad your good life is left. What? I'm glad your good life is live. I don't know what that word is. I'm glad your good life is. I don't know what that word is that you're trying to say there. Yeah, like for the past, ever since I've lived here, that's been the issue. Like I lost, you know what I'm saying? Like I lost anyway, I don't want to talk about it because it will get me frustrated just talking about it. Like there's nothing I can do right now in this second anyway. The only thing I'm going to try to do is make a phone call today to that one place. And then if they say, well, no, we don't know. I'm going to maybe I'm going to call my insurance company and be like, can you give me the number to my area caseworker, whatever the hell the person is that is assigned to this area for me if I need something, so I can talk to her. She's like in Huntsville or something, but I don't remember her number. I used to have a number and all that for who it was, but I need to find out if maybe through my medical they might have some sort of assistance where I can get somebody that can come and take me to where I need to go, or maybe they can advocate for me and get the credentials that is needed. Maybe somebody that has the right credentials and is professional might be able to get something done without having everything on hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Contacted some of these places and being like, look, I'm contacting you on so-and-so behalf, and this is my credentials, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes things get done quicker and easier than just us as a common freaking person. And it's insane. So you can always, I'm trying to stay, and sorry that I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying life in here? I don't know, but always having things to be grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for life. So, also on the morning walk, this morning's walk, I was reminded, because I almost was going to call this, I was going to do a video and maybe call it this, like, shit, I just forgot. I don't know. But we're in a stream. Like, I can not. Anything that I'm doing that is possibly anything that could be possibly helping anybody in a positive light is not by my own doing alone. Like, like I was thinking of it, like I alone do nothing. I can do nothing. Like when it comes to certain things in life, I know it's like it's not just Gray Cloud. It's not just now. I have to put in certain legwork, but I'm talking about this spiritual thing, this channel, this the things creative, like in my life earlier in life, doing music and things like that, even because I had something that needed to be said, and I think people are longing to know a connection, to feel a connection, and when you feel a connection to someone, sometimes that's all it takes to let you know you aren't alone. Like maybe you don't need to be told that you're not alone all the time, but you hear a song, you see a piece of art, you talk to someone, you listen to someone talk that is in that frame of mind, and you go, "Hey, man, I can dig this." You read a book and it's speaking loudly to you, like you're like, "Damn, I thought I was the only one that thought that," and you read it and you're like, "Oh shit," you know, just those nice moments. Uh, okay, so well, what I've started doing over the past few days is I have I'm going to try to do this a little more, but like as far as for instance, for the second channel, because I'm trying to focus mainly on comics over there, even though we will still talk about comics here and there on this channel, especially in a live stream if I want to, or have somebody on with me from, you know. Thanks for hitting that little heart. But like something that I recently was doing, I just finished reading Bronze Star by Mike Barron, and the artist is Pat Broderick. But anyway, I was reading a little bit about Pat Broderick on the back. In the back of here, it tells both. It tells you a little bit about both Mike Barron and the artist. I already knew about Mike Barron and kind of his history. Anyway, so the other day when I started to read it, I didn't take notes. The second that, like, I didn't read it all in one day. I could, but I was enjoying it so much. I read up to a certain point. I bookmarked it. The next day, I don't know if it was the next day or the third day, like within 3 or 4 days, I've had this read. Like I read so much of it the first day. I don't know if I read it I don't know if I picked it back up the second day, but I finished it yesterday basically. Well, the second time I picked it up to read it, I found myself realizing, okay, I need to write down some of the talking points. Like I've got on a piece of paper, and I might take that piece of paper and write, like organize it the way that I want to remember it when I do a video on that particular book. I want to, because I really like this, I really like it, and I'm a fan of Mike Barron already. I thought, well, this is the way that it'll help me be able to do a video with more conciseness rather than like right now. I'm like, it's fun to do some of the ones that that I've done so far are me just exploring, getting used to using the overhead light. But I knew with that particular book, and there's a few other books that I own, but also because I have interacted personally with those creators of those books, I want to go back and read some of this other stuff and take notes. Same like with Dr. Ben's comics, I'm going to do that. I want to read all those little comics I have of his, write down some talking points, and do a good do him good, man. Do him a good video, promoting him, and I need to do it on both channels. So because the main channel's got the most viewers, but the second channel's the comic channel. So I do want to. I'll put it up on both channels for Dr. Ben because I want as many. I want to try to get him some subscribers. I like him. I don't. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he's been on with me a couple of times on my stream, and I've been on a stream with him a time or two, either on his channel or other people's channels. Been in chats with him, been known him for a little while, so. Dr. Ben's Comics is the name of the channel, I do believe. that paperwork stuff. Okay, now let's see. Trying to figure out. I think it's almost about. You know what else? Did I tell you that there's a little group hangout I get an email for? It's a group hang. Well, it's a. I could have the app, but I don't care to. But I was telling someone the other day about. I finally posted a picture yesterday about it. A picture of the pups eating. I said I got 8 pups, 5 boys, 3 girls. So some lady has commented since yesterday, and I saw it in my email. What kind of puppies, and if mixed, what breeds? So I commented back with a picture of Biddy and said, "This is the mother, and I think the dad had some boxer in it or bulldog. I don't know if it was pit, bull, whatever. It could have been, but he wasn't full bulldog of any sort. I don't know if it was pit or bulldog itself, or there's several different types of, but he was also, I think, mixed with a beagle or something. He kind of had a pattern of a beagle, but didn't have the ear. Like, it was weird. But you could tell he had some kind of bulldog probably in him. Biddy's mama was a brindle mix of some kind of pit, but also something else. So, like, when people ask me what the puppies are, it's like there's not particular breed, and with the mix of the two, they were both mixed. So it's like you start losing. So basically, I just commented and said, "This is the mom," and then I told them what I thought I knew about the dad. Hopefully, the person will still want, like, if they're asking a question, that means they might be interested. That's all I can think. So, and that's a long shot because that is what I could do on my part because it is through the internet because I don't have the Facebook. So I'm relying on Betty or anybody else that I might know that could be trying to post it to Facebook for me in the Facebook market. So the next thing is, I guess I need to start thinking between now and Saturday about trying to see if I can maybe have a ride to a trade day on Saturday. And there's a place maybe a little closer to trade day that is not far from here that on Friday or Saturday, I think we could go over there and they might let us. We could go over there and ask anyway. I don't really have nothing to contain the puppies though. That's the only thing I wish, because now they're moving around and stuff. So if I was to go somewhere, it could be a handful trying to, manage. Like, if I'm not gone too far, maybe I could just take a few of them with me, and then if somebody, but if it's the trade day, that's about 30 minutes away. I need to take them all. With a sign. And also, I'm thinking about making a sign and set it outside here in the yard up there by the road, and just have, if somebody happens to see it, I doubt anybody will stop, but something told me yesterday to stop worrying about that. And that's what it's telling me right now. And I'm literally saying this because this happened in service yesterday. It happened throughout my day. It's happening this morning. Like, I'm being reminded, don't, Gray Cloud, stop. Freaking, God, stop. I'm doing the Trump hands, ain't I? Stop, Gray Cloud, stop. Just stop it, Gray Cloud. Just stop, well, because for however long gotta have them, I need to figure out some way that if I could, like I meant to, but golly, if I had something that I could kind of be like a fenced area, I thought about getting one of them small, but they're gonna get bigger, but like something a certain radius, it's like a wire fence that's portable. You can set it up. Like, create them, just set it up out there somewhere and put them in that. But, if they get smart enough, they'll probably dig under it or whatever. Anyway, hopefully the idea is not to have them very long. But to stop worrying. Right. I'm just talking. Sorry, guys, if that seems crazy, but I'm reminding myself it's something else. You can always try that idea you had when you carried two pups. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to say is I might just take a few, take like 3 or 4 of them. There's 8 of them. Take 2 to 4 of them. Well, I think like depending on how far we're having to go. Yeah, if I'm not going that far, take a hand like a manageable amount. Uh, and I might be able to find something that would work to kind of. But yeah, so between now and Saturday, I do need to think about that, and then I don't need. Yeah, I myself need not think much of it. I need to trust that what is going like it's all going according to plan. If the goal is for me to not do what I did last time, especially now, I'm already this far in the game. I'm further into the game than I was last time with the puppies. At the time that those puppies got taken, where they got taken, it wasn't. I had not kept them even this long, really. I don't think it was getting close to that, but like I hadn't. They had not been moved in another room. They had not. Of course, it was cold too, but. Hadn't even wormed them. I've spent my, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm putting time into this, so, and it is about patience. Sometimes you just I have to realize this is what it is. This is life, and this is part of the, like I was saying like a month ago, right? Instead of thinking about what it is I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. The everyday thing that I'm doing right now is part of what I'm here for. Whether that be dealing with puppies, dealing with my main dog, dealing with my own self, my own ailments, dealing with trying to help some other folks out, learning that it's a give and take in this world, knowing that as soon as any kind of bitterness or discomfort or chaotic type of thought starts happening, that it's good to know how to pull it back and stop it. It's not like instant, but I'm learning better how to, like, there's moments where I'm like, and I'm sure anybody goes through that. So I'm not it's not, I'm not some special somebody that is the only one that's got fucking issues, and I realize that. So sometimes I have to slap my own self back into the truth, and be like, it is what it is right now. I am right here where I'm at. This is what I've got to, and this is the day I've got. So I can wish I had somewhere else to be. I can want to be whatever. But the fact is, I'm not. And that is amazing. Like this is this to be able to share that. Yeah, that bird agrees. Okay, well, I'm going to end it there. I think that's a good note to end it on. A little bit teary-eyed, a little emotional. Nature girl, what'd you say? Or what'd she stay spiritual? Stay positive. I shall do my best, and my best is good enough. Our best is good enough. Yeah, the fourth agreement, do your best. Always do your best, and the best changes from day to day. When you're having a shitty day, the day, like if I was at, like today right now, my best is at its best. Like I feel it. But on a shittier day, my best, I might not feel it quite as much as I feel it today. I might be putting forth my best, if that makes any sense. But that's where I get out of the fourth agreement. And then, of course, the fifth agreement, be skeptical, learn to listen. I'm skeptical of everything I tell myself nowadays. That's why I was talking about what I'd recently went through and have came out of, and now I'm seeing, like yesterday when I went to service, I was like, no, everything's still on course. And if anybody thinks that I'm shifting things, this is the way it's always been, and that I have not turned my back on what it is that has always guided me. And whether anybody has a, people come in to the comments like sometimes and try to tell me, like if they hear me talk about the Creator and say Big Kahuna or the Christ or what, if I say something other than God or Jesus, if I say the Christ or I say Big Kahuna, because I have been, you don't have to believe me. But when someone says the only name is this and this, that, okay, whatever, man. Like I can't help, like I know what I know, and I'm not shoving it, trying to tell you. It's like until you hear it, until you are having your own communication, and like that was something that was explained to me today. The Spirit said, not everybody, like I can't, like, it's like I'm learning. Some people know, like, aren't capable of understanding that sometimes we are communicating in on a different level, but to the same thing. Like it just, your understanding and experience in life is going to change how the Creator is communicating with you, how you're listening and paying attention, and how, you know what I'm saying. So like, it felt good yesterday to have the feeling that I had. Uh, if that makes any sense, I don't know. I had been wondering if I was doing something wrong with some of the things I've shifted up doing, and I was shown, no, man, you're doing exactly what I'm asking you to do. Break it up a little bit, delve into a lot more, start getting even more esoteric. You know what I mean? Like I've always been that way, but like go back to that's what I usually. That's how I kind of started off with the channel. That's where Gray Cloud is. Think about it. You're looking at a man that's telling you about going in the woods and then coming out and being, and why that the Spirit was like, hey, you're Gray Cloud. You ain't Jason. Like that's metaphysical. That's like spiritual. That's not just spiritual. That's like trend. And whether you believe it or not, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it seems cryptic, and when we start deciphering it or understanding it, and maybe not knowing why we understand it, at first it's confusing. But I'm glad that it's less, I'm learning that the more I just say right now, like something that I was listening to yesterday, Eckhart Tolle had said it in the thing I was listening to, being aware that you're aware. Being aware that you are aware. And that's kind of what's happened been happening, but like I felt it yesterday and I've been feeling it right now. So I even wrote something about it yesterday, like a stream of consciousness, because it inspired me. Aware of being aware, the less I seem to desire, each waking moment seems crisp. Practicing being present, a grateful heart I have. Pushing away those frameworks of thought that do not benefit my existence. That's what I got from yesterday in some of my studies and listenings to some things. That's just something I hadn't shared yet, written. I don't think I even posted it on X or in the community written wise. So, but yeah, I'm going to leave that at that. And I think that's a good note to end it on. That's a better note to end it on rather than teary-eyed. I did, but the tears that you saw building earlier were good tears. Tears of joy, cleansing tears. Take a moment today and be kind to yourself. And let's be kind to others. And I'm trying to realize when I start finding myself complaining about this or that, about, I had to do this the other day. I'm about to end it. Um, yeah, I wrote that yesterday, or it was sent. Like I had listened to Eckhart Tolle, and it was having me think about aware of being aware, and that I. So when I came back from a walk and had heard that, I'm trying to start off instead of music if I've got the headphones on. Like today I listen to music, but the past few days I've been listening to some speaking like things. But yeah, whatever. I don't even remember what I was saying. Uh, and that's beautiful. I lost the track there. I don't know what I was. That's about being in the moment, ain't it? Uh, but I'm grateful to be here, and I have to remind myself all things work out accordingly. They will. I can't let myself get in any murky waters. I have to stay out of the murky waters up here. And it's just something that's sometimes it's more effort to do that. Sometimes it's no effort at all to just be where you're at. But I have to remind myself I have to use certain tools that I know that work when certain things are going on. If I find myself going off. And anyway, let's end it there. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to get a few things accomplished in the trailer today. I am going to see if I can find out something through a couple of phone calls. And if I don't find out anything, the key is not worrying about it. It's like I told y'all, something's telling me from yesterday to today, even this morning walk, from my ID situation to the puppies, those two main things that have been a little bit stressful on my head. The ID is something that's been for a while, but something is telling me stop and let it be. There's gonna be something that's working. There's some doors gonna open. There are doorways that are gonna open. And if I don't trust that, it's like some people can call you full of shit, but if you know it is gonna be and you go with that, it's gonna be. It's like one way or another, something's gonna happen. In a good way, in a positive way. Y'all have a good day. Until next time, Great Cloud, Safety, the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.